1,200 kilometers less, up to 9 days faster. And all of this through a land bridge in the middle of Thailand? That's exactly what's being planned. And they're serious. The Strait of Malacca, one of the busiest shipping routes in the world, might soon look outdated. Thailand isn't building a bridge over a river, but over 2 oceans. A 90-kilometer land bridge that could flip global shipping on its head. 2 giant deep-sea ports connected by roads, railways, and pipelines. Billions are flowing. Mountains are being moved. And in the end, Thailand could be the big winner, but the risks are massive. Will this land bridge revolutionize global trade, or is it a giant flop in the making? This bridge isn't made of water, but of roads, railways, and pipelines. The land bridge will connect 2 massive deep-sea ports, one in the Andaman Sea in the west and one in the Gulf of Thailand in the east. Here's how it works. Ships arrive, unload their cargo, and the goods are transported over land on massive trucks, fast trains, or even pipelines. Sounds like a logistical nightmare? Maybe, but it could save shipping companies up to 1,200 kilometers of detour through the narrow, congested Strait of Malacca, which is only 2.5 kilometers wide at its narrowest point and just 25 meters deep. And the best part? It cuts travel time up to 9 days. The project will involve constructing complex infrastructure to handle the transportation of millions of containers each year. Massive highways and rail networks will need to be built across difficult terrain, including areas with elevations up to 75 meters. The construction will also include the development of pipelines to transport oil and gas across the land, further reducing dependency on maritime routes. The 2 ports, each capable of handling millions of containers annually, will be key components of the project. The land bridge will also require substantial excavation and leveling of land, but not nearly as much as the canal would have required. This approach is not only cheaper, but also less damaging to the environment. The project is divided into 4 phases. The first phase alone will cost around $17 billion. In terms of construction, the project will require extensive land reclamation, especially in areas like Oang Bay, and will involve building deep-water ports capable of handling large international shipping volumes. Significant investment will also go into building highways and railway lines across the Kra Isthmus. The technical challenges are huge. The construction must go through mountainous terrain with elevations up to 75 meters, which makes the job pretty complicated. It's not like they can just lay a flat road across Thailand. No. Massive infrastructure will be needed to make it all work. Construction is set to begin in 2026, and by 2030, the first sections of the land bridge could be operational. The entire project is expected to be completed by 2039. As great as the land bridge sounds, there are some pretty big challenges and risks. Let's start with the costs. $28 billion. This is one of the largest investments Thailand has ever seen. And here's the kicker. It could take 27 years for this investment to pay off. That means investors will have to wait a long time before they see any profits. And if you're a businessman, you probably don't want to wait that long for your return, right? Before Thailand decided to pivot to the land bridge project, they had an even more ambitious idea on the table: the Kra Canal. For decades, the plan was to dig a 128 to 135 kilometer long canal through the Kra Isthmus. This waterway would have linked the Andaman Sea with the Gulf of Thailand, cutting travel distances for ships by up to 1,200 kilometers and shaving off about 9 days of travel time. The Kra Canal, designed to be 400 meters wide and 25 meters deep, would have been able to accommodate the largest tankers and container ships in the world. But the estimated cost was a whopping $28 billion, and the project faced massive challenges: environmental concerns, the displacement of over 60,000 people, and the difficulty of digging through mountainous terrain up to 75 meters high made it a logistical nightmare. A canal slicing through southern Thailand would have divided the country geographically, raising fears of increased political tensions in the already volatile southern provinces. All these factors combined led to the decision to shelve the Kra Canal in favor of a more feasible alternative: the land bridge. Now, you might be wondering, why do this? Thailand wants to compete with Singapore and Malaysia and position itself as the new hotspot for global trade. They want to attract the big ships and leave behind the risks of pirates and traffic jams in the Strait of Malacca. Every day, over 100,000 ships squeeze through this narrow waterway, connecting the Indian Ocean with the Pacific. But here's the problem. The route is completely congested. Imagine being stuck in traffic for hours. Except this isn't just about cars. This is about millions of tons of goods needed around the world. And that's not the only issue. Piracy is a real risk in the region. Pirates hijack cargo ships, threatening safety. Ships have to slow down just to make it through this narrow passage safely. Slower speeds mean more time, and more time means more costs. Huge costs. The benefits of this land bridge for global trade are huge, and it could completely disrupt the shipping business. Why? It's simple. Time and money are the two key factors in global trade. If you can save 6 to 9 days at sea and cut out 1,200 unnecessary kilometers, it's a clear win, right? Imagine all those massive container ships that normally crawl through the crowded Strait of Malacca could now speed through Thailand. That doesn't just mean less stress for shipping companies, but also massive savings. For example, large tankers could save up to $350,000 per trip. Every day a ship arrives faster means lower operating costs, especially in terms of fuel. Thailand could become the new centerpiece of global trade. With modern deep-sea ports on 2 coasts and a well-organized land connection in between, the country could really take off as a logistics hub in Southeast Asia. Singapore and Malaysia? They might fall behind if shipping companies realize that Thailand's land bridge offers a faster, better alternative. Singapore and Malaysia won't be thrilled if Thailand suddenly challenges their role as the key trade hubs. Tensions could rise if Thailand succeeds in redirecting trade. Moreover, maritime and territorial conflicts in Southeast Asia could flare up. Nobody likes it when someone messes with their business. But it's not just about time and money. It's also about geopolitical advantages. Countries like China, which rely heavily on international trade routes, might see the land bridge as a strategic alternative to the Strait of Malacca. The geopolitical significance of this new route is enormous because it offers a safer, more stable option for transporting important goods in a region often marked by conflict. Imagine, ships dock at the new deep-sea ports, unload their containers, and the cargo is quickly transported overland by truck, train, or pipeline. This efficient connection reduces delays and ensures that goods are shipped further in record time. No more long waits, no more overcrowded ports, no more uncertainties at sea. And what about the Strait of Malacca? It already has well-established infrastructure. Big shipping companies know it inside and out. Will the land bridge really be so attractive that everyone suddenly switches to a new route? The future of the land bridge hinges on whether Thailand can bring enough international investors on board. That's no small task. Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin is pushing hard and presenting the project at international investment forums like the Thailand-China Investment Forum. Thailand is particularly hoping to attract big investors from China. Why? It's simple. This project costs a whopping $28 billion. Without deep pockets from abroad, nothing's going to happen. In the end, the question remains, will Thailand manage to turn the land bridge into a global trade hub? Or is it just another mega project that never really takes off? If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like it and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.